Okay, so let me share screen. I'm going to play a wee fun video. This is about what are called modal verbs. Can, would, and so on. So this will play for about 4 minutes or something like that, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
I miss her.
Me too.
Amy, is everything okay?
Yes, fine. My mother says, would you two like to have dinner with us tomorrow? She says we can celebrate Chinese New Year together. And Dad says we can have special food. He'll make it. And we've got fireworks and, you know, if you like.
We'd love to.
No. I don't know why that ended so fast, sorry.
Wow, it's cold out there. You're home early. Are you all right?
Never better. Hey, you couldn't pass me that plate, could you? Please? Thanks. But the heating at college broke down this morning. So when our accountancy lecturer said, "Ladies and gentlemen, would you like a free afternoon to study at home?" Well, it was an offer we couldn't refuse, really. It was freezing.
Well, I see you've been busy. What is it? Can I have a taste?
Yes, of course you can. Here. What do you think?
Wow. That's really good soup there, big brother. What is it?
It's a country recipe. I found it in one of Gran's old cookery books. But I've made a lot. Why don't you call Amy? You can ask her round for dinner if you like. There's more than enough. I've made bread too, look.
You are one amazing brother.
I know. Now, go and phone.
Amy? Oh, hi, Mrs. Howe. Could I speak to Amy, please? Thank you. Amy, it's Daisy.
Hi, what's up?
Would you like to come to our house for dinner?
Oh, yes. That would be really cool. Thank you. And could you say thanks to your mum for me?
Well, actually, she isn't here. It's Oliver's idea. He's made some wonderful soup and bread.
Nice. I could bring something for dessert if you like. I can make an apple cake. Pardon, Mum? Ah, thanks. It's Chinese New Year, so we've got some special sweets here. My mother says I can take some to your house, so you can try them.
Oh, yes. Chinese New Year? Mum's in Hong Kong this week, writing about the celebrations. She emailed us some photos, but I thought your family's from Cambridge. Do you celebrate Chinese New Year?
Yes, of course. 3 of my grandparents are from Hong Kong, in fact. Though my mother's father is Scottish. My parents and I are British. But we celebrate as a family. Listen, I'd better go and make that cake, or it'll be too late.
Okay. Oh, Mum's calling. See you in an hour.
Great. See you.
Hi, Mum.
Hi. Listen, it's just after midnight here and it's really noisy.
Wow, it sounds amazing.
It is. Plus, I've recorded some great interviews and got some fantastic photos for the blog. Wow!
You couldn't send some photos to Amy too, could you, Mum? Is that okay? Her family's from Hong Kong. I'm sure she'd love to see it.
Yes, no problem. But don't give me her email address now. I can't hear anything very well. It's too loud.
Okay.
I'll phone you again tomorrow morning, okay?
Okay. Love you.
Love you too.
She's having fun.
Yes. I miss her.
Me too.
Amy, is everything okay?
Yes, fine. My mother says, would you two like to have dinner with us tomorrow? She says we can celebrate Chinese New Year together. And Dad says we can have special food. He'll make it. And we've got fireworks and, you know, if you like.
We'd love to.
Is that fun, guys?
Yes, it was good.
Now, did you all follow that? Let me ask Mona. Were you able to follow all that discussion between the individuals?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm on this British Council page, and it's got modal verbs on it. And it's kind of a discussion here, which I'll just read out, and then there's some Q&A on it. So what are modal verbs? These are a type of auxiliary verb we use with other verbs to add more meaning to the verb. After modal verbs, we use the infinitive form without to. Modals are not used with auxiliary verb do to form the negative. We add not after the modal. To ask questions, we put the modal in front of the subject. So here was an example. Hey, you couldn't pass me that plate, could you? See that? Now, what that's asking is to do it positively, you would say, can you pass me that plate? Yeah, that would be the most direct way to do it. But in Britain, we'll say it negatively. We'll say, you couldn't pass me that plate, could you? So we'll say it like in a negative. Does that make sense?
It's a question tag, right?
It's a question style. So like the most direct answer is no, I couldn't, right? So Anjali, you couldn't pass me that plate, could you? You know, you think you're about to say, no, I couldn't. I'm really asking you to pass me the plate, but we say it negatively. You couldn't pass me. That's seen as polite language in an interaction between people. We sort of don't like to be too direct, so it's slightly indirect. So if I said to Mona, I'm coming to Tehran next week. You couldn't show me around, could you? One day. See, instead of asking directly, could you show me around? That's very direct, you know. We sort of say you couldn't do it. So we're almost inviting you to say no, if you know what I mean. See what I mean?
Teacher, I should say I can.
So you would say yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, certainly. I'd love to. Or, oh no, I can't actually. I'm really busy next week. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So it says here, we use them for lots of things. And the same modal verbs can have several different uses. Today, we're just going to look at offers, invitations, requests, and permission. That kind of interaction between people. Right, far away. I mean, you can far away if you like. Oh, you're giving me permission. Thank you. We use would and like a lot for offers. Is this big enough for you guys to see on your screens? Is the text big enough? I can make it bigger if I need to.
Yeah, you can zoom in a little bit.
Can you see it, Mona? You use a phone usually. Can you see the?
Yes, yes, teacher.
Okay.
Yes.
So here's an example. Would you like to come to our house for dinner? See that? So we're using would and like. And we would say this is, can you come to our house for dinner? Would be the most direct way to say that. Can you come to our house for dinner? But what we do is use more polite language and say, would you like to come for our house for dinner? Not can you. We mean can you, but we're saying it like a proposition. Can you, or would you like? Would you like? Similarly, I'm going to offer you some cake, right? How we would put that is, would you like some cake? You see? We might also use language like, can I tempt you with some cake? Or even some cake. We also do a lot of this. We kind of do a little bit of insisting. Sometimes we say, have some cake. Anjali, have some of this. I'm not asking you, I'm sort of almost telling you, have some cake. It's really, really good. And of course you may say, no, I don't want to get fat. No, I'm watching my figure. Oh, go on, it's lovely. That's what typical interactions would be like between people, right? Would you like to celebrate Chinese New Year with us? See, again, sort of an invitation. For more informal invitations, you can use can and get, which means buy in this instance. So for example, can I get you a drink? So if I say that to you, if I say to Sudansu, can I get you a drink? What I'm offering to do is buy him a drink. You know, now I could say, can I buy you a drink? But we wouldn't typically say that. We would just say, can I get you a drink? Yeah.
My answer will always be the same. That would be lovely.
Okay. We also use would and can for offering to help someone. So for example, we would say, would you like some help? Yeah. Or can I help you? Or can I give you a hand with that? Now some people might find that strange. I'm guessing Mona might find that wording a bit strange. Can I give you a hand with that? Have you heard that before? Mona?
Yes.
You have. And so it makes sense to you. You know what I'm saying? If I say, can I give you a hand? I'm not really offering to give you my hand. What I'm really saying is, can I help you? Yeah.
Okay. Teacher, I have problem about can and could.
Yep.
And it's confusing for me.
I know. And it is confusing. It is. It's weird. It's the way English is. Can.
Yes.
And would. How did I distinguish these things? I don't know. I could say, instead of saying, can I help you? I could say, could I help you?
What's the difference between
I don't know.
them?
We would nearly always say in that instance, can I help you? But we could say could as well. But let's just Google that together, right? So can versus could. Somebody's asked that before. Make the text bigger. Can means to be able to or permitted to do something. Could refers to the possibility or ability. Ability, present one, in the past. Request and permission. It's can is informal and could is more polite. So examples, I can't wait as I am already very late. Angie, could have taken a taxi to reach the station. So that's could is the past. The can is never in the past. Could is in the past. Right?
Teacher, could always could is for past?
No, not always, but it is in that instance. So think of it the other way. If you're saying something in the past, you would always say could. So Mona could get to that other city. She could have taken the train or the bus. She could, right? But if we were talking in the present and you were speaking, you would say, well, I can take the bus or the train.
Okay.
So can is present, could is past, speaking about the ability to do something. But if we're talking in the present now, I can say, can you pass me the bottle? But I also could say, could you give me your pen? Now those things are equivalent, right? Can and could in the present there. But the difference is could is slightly more polite. Okay, you know, could you give me your pen? Actually, what we would say is, could I borrow your pen? Is what we'd say. Could I borrow your pen? Not slightly, you know, we wouldn't say, can I have your pen? We would say, could I borrow your pen? That's slightly polite language.
Okay.
She cannot come to the party as she is in Jaipur. I wish I could travel the world. So because that's expressing possibility, that's what this one refers to here, possibility. We would use could for that. I wish I could travel the world. I wish I could travel to Tehran. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this week comparison chart is actually very good. Okay, you comfortable with that?
Yes, teacher. Thank you.
Right. We also use modals for asking for something, making a request, or asking permission. All right. So let me make this a bit bigger. I've lost my spot. Right. Can you do me a favor? Right, that's quite informal language. Can I do you, you know, can you do me a favor? Right, so if I'm going to ask to answer something, I will say it like that. can you do me a favor, right?
Thank you.
This second one using could is more polite. Could you say thanks to your mum for me? So now I'm asking you to do something for me. Hey, Anjali, could you say hi to your mum for me, right? So I'm asking you to do something for me, so I'm going to be slightly more polite. So I would say could in that instance. I finished my homework. Can I go now? Right, so that's quite informal. So that's a child would say that to their parent. I finished my homework. Can I go now? What they said in the video was, could I speak to Amy, please? That's quite polite. Could. So could errs on the polite side. Can is more informal, less polite. And what's the answer? Yes, you can. No, you can't. Not normally. So in any of these questions, right? Can you do me a favor? Can you do something for me? Would you say yes or no, basically? And the answer to that is not normally. Usually the positive answer is yeah, sure. Yes, of course, or certainly. So if it's a positive and you ask somebody to do something for you, they don't say yes, they say, yes, sure. Yes, of course, certainly. So it's a very positive response. I am delighted to do that for you, Anjali. Oh, and she'd answer, it'd be a privilege to do that for you, sir. Yeah. So we express the positive answer in a very positive way to demonstrate we're very keen to do it, not reluctant to do it. You've asked me to do something for you, so I'm going to express my affirmation in a very positive way. I'd be delighted. Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah. When you're saying no, we are unbelievably polite saying no because we don't like to say no, right? So we usually avoid a direct no and a negative answer. We say something like, well, I'm not sure. Tomorrow night's a bit difficult. Actually, she's not here at the moment. You see how each of those things is saying no, but it's saying it in slightly indirect way. Right, so hang on. Heyday is needing some help. Zoom, tap launch meeting. Okay. Right, hopefully she can join us, show. I don't know which option. Excuse me, team. Right, which option? Copy the link below and paste it into Safari, or try tapping launch meeting. Right. So the point here is because we're a little bit indirect in our nose, you sometimes have to listen carefully to see if a person is actually saying yes or no. Um, let me stop the share here, guys, for a minute. Let me just try and help her out just for a couple of minutes.
No
You guys
problem.
can just talk amongst yourselves.
You can stop the recording maybe if it takes me.
Yeah, but I don't want it to. I don't want to lose it all.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay. So I basically said I can't really help her right now because I just can't. I can't give attention to, you know, and ignore you guys. So let me share screen again. Okay.
I think she has to install the application. She's trying to join from web. That's why it's happening.
Yeah, but it didn't offer. It didn't seem to offer. It was asking about Windows and Mac and things. It wasn't offering her iPhone.
Yeah, okay, okay.
So I couldn't see the right option there.
So from the App Store, what she can do, she can go to the App Store and then she can just download the Zoom application and just sign in from there. And once she taps into the link that you actually send in,
Yeah.
it will redirect her to the application and the meeting will be joined directly. Then again, before clicking on the link, she has to actually sign in using her email ID and something and password. Once she is signed in onto the Zoom app, then she will actually be clicking on.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. After downloading the app, it is done.
See, what you're suggesting there is authenticating, but I didn't think you have to be authenticated.
I didn't get you. Pardon?
But anyway, right. So one more thing. Do you think you could help me with my homework now? It would only take about an hour. Well, actually, that's somebody trying to say no, but being polite, if you know what I mean. Okay, so what we'll do is there's a grammar test here. So there's some expressions you can see here, and I reckon this will be about quite easy for you guys, right? But the question is, would you like to come for lunch this weekend? So of the answers that are here, what's the right answer, do you think?
this one. Well, actually, my mom is not feeling well. Maybe another time. Or maybe this one. Oh, I would love to. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's this one.
Yeah.
Can you help me with this table a moment?
Yes, of course. Here you go.
It will be yes, sure. Where do you want to put it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you tell me where the nearest bank is, please?
I'm sorry, I'm not from around here.
Would you like me to ask my brother?
Oh, yes, please.
Yes,
Could you?
Very good, Mona. Excellent.
Thank you.
Can I come around to your house later?
Well, actually, my mom's not feeling well. Maybe another time.
Yeah, I think so. Could you lend me £20, please?
I suppose so, but I need it back before Friday.
It depends how generous you are, eh? You can say, yes, of course, here you go. Or if you're a bit more prudent financially, you'd say that, right? Can I get you a cup of tea?
No, I'm okay, thanks. I've just had one.
Would you mind passing me that menu?
The obvious. Yeah.
If we would have used this one with that $20 answer, then we would have to answer, I suppose, but I need it back before Friday in this menu answer. That would have been really funny.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll click and finish. Show answers. It looks like we've got them all. We've got them all correct. You guys did. The heroes, yay!
Kudos to us.
Kudos to us, indeed. Okay. This one is can, could, and would for invitations, offers, requests, and permission. Write the word in the gaps. Can I something? You something to drink? What's the word here?
Can I get you something to drink?
Right. Would you something if I close the window?
Would you mind?
Would you like something come skating with us?
Would you like to?
Right. Angela, you can't answer the next question. You're too fast. Can I something you a hand? Now we've done this one already. Mona, what is this one?
Give.
Yes, excellent. And then something you possibly lent me a pen. What would that be, Mona?
Could you?
Yes, excellent. Dad says we something borrow his bicycle if we're careful.
We can.
Can. You something carry this, could you? Now here's a good one. Right, this is good. Right.
You can.
No, I know, no. I want Mona to try this one. You something carry this, could you?
You couldn't carry this?
Yes, excellent. You were paying attention, man alive. Excellent. You couldn't.
Thank you.
So that's it. So you couldn't carry this, could you? So we're saying it negatively, but we're really asking you to do it. And then 8, you would be free for Sunday. Something, sorry, I actually blurted it out there. Something.
You already answered that.
Yeah, I know. Would you be free for lunch on Saturday? So let's see. Oh, we got that one wrong. I don't know why we got that one wrong. Couldn't was right. Could is wrong. Could you possibly lend me a pen? Oh, interesting. We got 2 wrong. Let's see what that is. What is wrong about that? I mean, did they want a capital maybe? I reckon that's what it is. Because it's the start of the sentence, they're being a bit pernickety and wanted me to say capital C and capital W. You see that?
Yes, yes. Attention to details.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I know that, but you know, I wasn't being too careful. Right. Can, could, would for invitations, offers, requests, permission. Put the words in the correct order to make questions.
Can I have some water?
Oh, I think I need to do this.
It's jumble sentences.
Yeah, that's too easy, really. Okay. All right. Right. Enough of grammar. I wonder how Heidi's getting on.
It's actually nostalgic. It reminds me of my school days doing grammars.
Yeah. Okay, so we did a few words through the week or of the last few days, just in the discussion. I'll maybe just quickly go over some of those.
Okay.
So what was the difference between, what are the 2 meanings that we talked about of the word overlook?
The first meaning was actually when we ignore something, when we don't pay attention to some fact, then we overlook that thing. And the other one is actually you have given that example that there is a statue, and or maybe the example that from balcony you can overlook the garden. So it's something related to actually the view.
Yeah, correct. So here you go. I have a view from above, or to fail to notice. Yeah. Comfortable with those 2 senses of overlook, everyone?
Yep.
Teacher,
Yeah. Yes, Mona.
excuse me, it means ignoring something or not? I didn't understand.
Not ignoring so much as failing to notice. But somebody could say, I have been overlooked. I've not been promoted. I've been overlooked. So it's as if I've been ignored.
Mm.
Make sense?
Yes, thank you very much.
Right, some new words now. Well, there's one German one I want to do. Not many people commented on it. It's schadenfreude. Schadenfreude. People know what that meant? What does that mean? Schadenfreude.
Frio is something with the teacher. Schaden, I think. I don't know.
Say that again, Sud.
It's like Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude. Yeah.
Schadenfreude.
What does it mean?
Freude, I think it's a teacher. It's something related to fear is teacher. Schaden, I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, no. So this
Not an
is
English word, right?
so it's used in English. It's a German word. We use it in English to describe this thing. And it's quite a dark thing. And we don't have a word for it in English, so we use the German word. Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude. And what it means is joy at somebody else's sorrow or misfortune. So, you know, Anjali fell off her bicycle, broke her leg. Ha ha ha. I don't like that girl anyway. Right? It's that. Happiness at somebody else's misfortune. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
A negative means.
yeah,
Yes.
very, very negative.
Mm.
This is its use over time. It's something that is, I don't know what year that is, but it's gone up. So it's been used right through the 1900s, and in recent times, in the 90s, last 20 years, it's gone right up. And interestingly, you see this capital S, lower S thing. Noun, it's a noun, and nouns in German commence with the capital S, but they don't in English, right? So you can either use it with a capital S or you can use it with the lower S, and the lower S one is more frequent.
I didn't get that. What is this lowercase and uppercase?
Right. So in English, when you write a noun, you don't capitalize it unless it's at the beginning of a sentence, right? Or unless it's the name, you know, what's the word for it? The noun, the name of something, you know, like a city or something like that.
Proper noun.
Proper noun. Unless it's a proper noun, we wouldn't capitalize it in English. Get my drift?
Yes.
But in German, they capitalize all the nouns, no matter where it is in a sentence. So in German, it's capital S, Schadenfreude. So in English, it's acceptable to write it like the Germans write it, since we borrowed the word from them. So in the middle of a sentence, you could say, Sudan really exhibited a lot of Schadenfreude at Anjali's misfortune, right? And I could use a capital S in the middle of the sentence there, and that's acceptable. And you could say even it's paying a little bit of homage to the German way. But most people in English, because we're writing in English or speaking in English, we don't use the capital S. Make sense?
Yes, got your drift.
So what we could say here is sentences with Schadenfreude. Jeremy had a feeling of Schadenfreude when his ex-wife's second marriage failed. When the winning team saw their rivals saddened by defeat, they felt a sense of schadenfreude. So basically, you wouldn't, this is not a good thing to feel, right? Because it's the opposite of empathy. If you're sad when somebody else is sad, or happy when they're happy, that shows empathy. This is, schadenfreude is almost like the opposite of that. It's almost like psychopathic, you know what I mean? Wanting somebody else to have pain. So I'm actually quite glad in English we don't have a word for this. We use the German word. But it's not common. It's not common. So anyway, it's a good word to know though. So that's schadenfreude. Right. I'll give you, here's quite a good one to do now. So this is new. So this is an expression, walk the walk and talk the talk. Have you heard this?
We already did it.
Did we do this one?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize we did. Remind people what it means then.
Actually walk the talk. I mean, we usually use this one. So it means that whatever you say or whatever you idealize, you should actually follow that. You just don't have to talk about it and don't follow that.
When did we do this, Anjali?
I don't remember, but I have written that in my diary.
Yeah, so it was a long time ago then, not recently.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me come to Mona. Is that making sense to you, what Anjali said, Mona? You're on mute, Mona. Do you know these expressions, walk the walk and talk the talk, Mona?
No, teacher, I don't know.
Okay, so I'm going to take a bit of time over it, right? You just need to bear with me, Anjali, right? Meaning of talk the talk and walk the walk. If you say that someone talks the talk but does not walk the walk, you mean they do not act in a way that agrees with the things they say. Here's an example. When it comes to recycling, he talks the talk, but he doesn't walk the walk. So in other words, talk the talk is all hot air. He's all mouth. He's speaking, but he doesn't actually do. But someone who walks the walk, they are doing what they say. It's just idiom. It's just idiom. But that's what the idiom indicates. Does that make sense, or is that still totally opaque? Mona, does that make sense or not?
Yes.
Yeah, making sense. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And so rather than, give the whole thing, because it's very common, people will just shorten all this down to say, oh yeah, he walks the walk. Right. So they shortened the whole thing down to that, right? And I heard that on a video the other day, somebody on TV or something said walk the walk, American. And I thought, oh, that's a good one just to bring up that class. I hadn't remembered I'd done it before. Okay, that was walk the walk. Yeah, here's another couple of ones that are quite good. Get on famously. Have you heard of this? To get on famously? Anyone got a clue what that means? No? Well, that's good then. Okay, so get on famously. So this is British. It means to have a very friendly relationship with someone. Right? So I could say, Anjali gets on famously with Siddhansi. This is obvious to me from 3,000 miles away, or whatever it is. Yeah? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So I have known Mona for 6 months, and we get on famously, right? We get on famously. So it just means we're very friendly. We haven't fallen out. We haven't had a crossword. We're good friends. We get on famously. Sound good?
Yes.
This is a good one to know, right? This is definitely, you know, right. Now something in the same milieu is this expression, right? Thick as thieves. I remember it was my dad I first heard saying this when I was a wee boy, and I didn't understand what it meant at the time. Thick as thieves. Anybody know what this one means?
I think I know a similar one, thick and thin. We say that, like, he was there with me throughout the thick and thin. But that is not at all related to this.
No. So I'm going to come to that one in a minute. That's the next one I'm going to do. You're reading my notes. You naughty girl. Right. Thick as thieves is slightly different. Thick as thieves, if two or more people are very close and they share secrets, like really close, they're thick as thieves. And it comes from the idea that if people were thieves together, like, so they were both doing bad things, they would know each other's secrets and everything, right? And they wouldn't talk about it to other people, but between themselves, they do. So that's where it kind of comes from. That's the genesis of the idiom. But we say this about any two individuals who are really, really, really close. We say they're thick as thieves. And there's no romance suggested in that, right? It's just really close. It could be two guys, it could be two girls, it could be a guy and a girl. It could be people in the same family, you know. So there's somebody and his aunt, right? He and Auntie Lou were thick as thieves. Okay. Everybody comfortable with that? Now, the one that Anjali mentioned, because she's obviously reading my notes, is through thick and thin. Now, Anjali, I'll get you to explain this to everybody then.
You have already actually clicked on that and it's there on the screen.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
It does make sense or it doesn't?
It doesn't make sense. I mean, it's already there. I can read it loud under all circumstances, no matter how difficult someone is there with you.
Yeah. But I'm confused as why you're saying it doesn't make sense.
No, I wanted to say that it doesn't make sense. Like, if I'll explain that, it's already there on the screen. It doesn't make sense of me explaining it again. It's a cheating, actually.
So, yeah, so, but in your own words, you know, I'll just do it. So this is again in the same kind of area. It's got to do with friendship. And if somebody sticks with somebody else through thick and thin, it means through the ups and downs of life. Yeah. There's a word I use a lot. You probably heard me say vicissitudes. Yeah. I taught you how to pronounce it way back. Remember?
Yeah. Vicissitudes of life.
Yes. So this is, you know, the circumstances of fortune, you know, things go up, things go down, right? Sometimes you're in the mountaintop, sometimes you're in the valley, right? So everybody's life goes through these things. You're not always on the mountaintop. There's something wrong with you if you just have this fantastic experience every day in life, right? Everyone goes through tough times, and that gives you the character, you know, you need that to build your character. But it's good to have friends too. And when you're going through a tough time, like some people will say, I'm not going to be your friend anymore, right? I'm just going to leave you. But if they will stick with you and still be your friend in the tough times, that's what we mean by through thick and thin. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, good. Right, last word. And this is, it's not exactly the opposite of schadenfreude, but it's sort of in that direction. It's the word unalloyed, right? Unalloyed. Do you know the meaning of that? Unalloyed. Before I click on it.
No.
No?
I know alloy, it's a science term actually, mixture of metals.
That's correct. And that's where it comes from. So if it's unalloyed, what does that mean logically?
It's pure, I guess.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And so we use that, speaking of things like joy or delight. And if we say that those things, those emotions are unalloyed, it means that they're not mixed. Okay? So you give that definition there, but we apply it like this of emotions: complete and unreserved, unalloyed delight. So Nancy announced her engagement. Her mum gave a shriek of unalloyed delight. She was so pleased. So unalloyed. So it's the idea of a very pure feeling, a very pure, you know, so unalloyed delight, unalloyed joy. At first glance, it looks like unalloyed good news. In hindsight, an unalloyed catastrophe of monstrous proportion was inevitable. So it's usually used positively, but it's being used negatively here. An unalloyed catastrophe. So in other words, a complete catastrophe. I would say a complete catastrophe there rather than unalloyed. I don't really like that example. Strong culture's benefits do not come unalloyed nor without cost. Now that's kind of clever. So that's saying about a business situation, strong culture benefits do not come unalloyed. In other words, they're always mixed with things. There's some negativity associated with that. So they're saying it's unalloyed, right? I do not come unalloyed. However, the theory of unalloyed benefits to plants does not translate into practice. Those are all very interesting examples. Mona, you want to say something?
Yes.
Go ahead. Here's a very typical sentence. Mr. Obama's foreign policy has not been an unalloyed success. So that's kind of saying it's been successful, but there's been failures in it. It's not an unalloyed success. If somebody said it was an unalloyed success, they would say it's just completely fantastic. No negative comments could be made.
Augured so well. His foreign policy is augured so well.
Correct. Says the person who spent life studying being an ambassador. So you know that. It was the unalloyed joy of a family table where the real feast was love. We had a perfect holiday, 2 weeks of unalloyed bliss. Okay, guys, you've learned a new word, unalloyed, which I will leave you to utilize and impress me when you use it again in future communications, either written or verbal. Okie doke. Well, that lesson was a wee bit different. We did some grammar. You can let me know what you think of that. Was that good, doing some grammar? I think we spent half a lesson doing grammar and half in vocabulary.
Yeah, I think we should do some advanced grammar. These are very, intermediate or basic kind of grammar.
I know. Well, I could maybe try and get some more complicated stuff. See, it depends who's on. I kind of thought I would get some Latin Americans on today, but we didn't. So.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, I'll bid you all good night. I am not 100% sure if I'm going to have a class on Thursday. It's a bit of a busy week for me.
Okay.
But I should be able to do. I'll try. I'll see. I'll let you know on the group chat, and I should be able to do one on Sunday coming next week.
Not a problem.
Thank you, teacher. This session was very useful as always.
Okay. Thanks, Mona. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Mona. Bye, Sudhanshu.
Bye. Bye. Anjali. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice week, sir.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.